People ask me, why? Why veterans? Why my interest in veterans? And I have a poignant story to share with you. Yet I'm going to start with a good, pleasant memory. My mother had magical ways of waking us up. She used to go to the backyard, pick up a handful of jasmines, fragrant, and put them in a glass bowl of water, and softly walk in my room, singing in her angelic voice a joyful song. She would come in, put down on my nightstand the bowl of flowers, and kiss me on the forehead and smile as brightly as sunshine. It was the night at dinner table that she and my dad would ask us, "What have you done for others today?" And the other can't be your baby sister. It can't be anybody you know. And if you didn't have a good story to tell, you were excused. So I was saturated with love, with accountability to put my exchange in for life. I became an activist, found causes to die for, to live for. And then I was barely 20 that I got very much interested in understanding the nature of war. And I worked with the United Nations as spontaneous interpreter. At the time, I was fluent in 7 languages. And there, I got to travel. And I got to be in combat zones for about 10 years. And I witnessed the good, the bad, the ugly. And in one of these camps, I became aware of volunteering for Red Cross and Red Crescent. It was 9 of us who volunteered. We were all in our early 20s, wildly enthusiastic, curious, and wanted to give back. So what we were doing they gave us these old worn out motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles most of my life. I have a Harley, black. So they gave us these old motorcycles, and we were at nights without lights on. We would travel to the tents of people who were affected by war. There were often older adults, women, and children. As I said, it was 9 of us. I was the only woman. So a brotherhood, a family started right there. And we were just day and night together in that tent. And when we would go out, we would go in these formations. And we would take turns in who's going to be the lead. That night, I said, okay, it's my turn. I'm going to take the lead. And there was a guy among us who had a crush on me. And we would just mercilessly banter all the time. And he just started playfully teasing me, saying that I can see him, I can hear him right now. He was telling me, you are a woman, not a man. Thus, get back to where you belong at the end of the line. So I insisted. We fought in the form of banter. We laughed. I said, fine. Be the lead. I went back. We started on that trip to the tents, and my bike stopped running. No lights. We had to actually follow with eyes where the other ones were, and I was the last one. So I was just so anxious to get back on the bike and make it run. So I got off. I started kicking, cussing, and cursing at my bike so it would stop. a jerk and would run. And then I heard the explosion. I don't really know what happened, but I believe one or a couple of my buddies ran over or hit an IED, or maybe a bunch of them. And the blast was so huge that they told me that I had passed out. I don't remember passing out. I remember standing dizzy, nauseous. My left ear was bleeding. I was in dirt, dust, and blood. It was not my blood. And it was hard for me to breathe. Mitch, who was a Marine there and who was basically leading these volunteer groups, he just took me by the arm, put me on the truck, and I never talked about it. I never shed a tear, a drop of tear. But that day I knew that I was going to put anything, everything that I have to make a sanctuary for healing our warriors, wherever they are, and their families that are making another sacrifice by being there as a support for those who go and fight for our freedom. And then I became a philosophy teacher, a literature teacher. I became a psychologist. And it was January 2019 that I started nonprofit that is, you're witnessing the work of my amazing team, Open Doors to Future Possibilities, where we help first responders and veterans to heal. I remember Dostoevsky, one of my favorite authors. In The Brothers Karamazov, he talks about hell as suffering of being unable to love. And that's what happens to us when we go through loss after loss, trauma after trauma. We get imprisoned in these isolated islands and forget how to love. And I knew the feeling. After that loss, that I never talked about it till 35 years after, there was a hole in my soul. And I made it my intention in life to help our veterans to be able to live again, laugh again, dream again, and love again. During this time, after 6 years and a half, over 5,400 veterans have been served. Over 250 workshops held for veterans and their families on topics including communication, PTSD, relationships, and more. 109 veterans have overcome PTSD, suicidality, and deep depression through counseling, as having me as their counselor. 1,550 veterans and their families served in transition housing. During the COVID, when people were shelter in place, we were out with my team, with U-Hauls. I sweet-talked hotel owners that were sitting there with empty rooms. So we took over 100 veterans who were unhoused with their families in the streets of San Jose, and we took them to those hotel rooms. Every week we provided them with food, clothing, anything that they needed, and roundtables, workshops to keep them running. And after that, with the help of Home First, we transitioned them to permanent housing. Over 1,800 hours of tutoring provided, leading to educational and professional success. 50,000 hot meals and boxes of food were distributed to veterans and their families. 150 veterans have utilized our digital literacy programs, and over 60 free laptops were distributed to veterans. In 2024 only, we held over 900 counseling sessions for the veterans and their families, and 120 roundtable discussions. I am eternally grateful to all of you amazing people, to my supporters and sponsors who have made this possible. I'm especially grateful to Colonel Ray Watts, to Chaplain Sonny, and to Supervisor Otto Lee, and my dear, dear friend, Dr. Clyde Horn. And my many thanks go to my brilliant, dedicated team who are the superstars and shining stars of my heart. As we come to the end of our ceremony, I invite you to join me in a moment of silence to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation and to express our deepest gratitude and respect. May their courage and dedication to our country never be forgotten. Thank you.